I'm not ashamed to say that I'll go buy a hamburger from a restaurant and go home and put my own cheese on it. You ain't charging me no extra $1.50 for a slice of cheese, man.
Americans are absolutely sick and tired of how expensive cost of living is these days. You could buy a bag of potato chips and it could cost you $6, $7. And a bag of mandarin oranges, for instance, could go over $10. And don't even get me started on meats like beef. It's nearly unaffordable. And restaurant prices are going up so much that people have just quit dining out altogether. A simple Chipotle bowl that was less than $10 5 years ago is now nearly $20. I mean, could you guys have imagined how insanely expensive everything is just 5 or 10 years ago?
So apparently people aren't tipping their Uber drivers, okay? I avoid Ubers because even the tip sometimes is so much. They're like, wait, you tip your Uber drivers? And I'm like, you don't? I come to find out most people don't tip their Uber drivers. I feel like it's one of those weird things where I'm not sure if you should or not. You know what I mean? Like, okay, going out to dinner, they live off of tips. Like, that's how they make their money. You have to tip. Versus at a coffee shop, maybe you don't necessarily have to tip. I don't know what the standard is for Ubers. I mean, okay, if it's like a really long drive and they're helping my suitcase, you should definitely tip. But I feel like if it's like a 5-minute drive in New York City and they're not really doing anything, I get why you want it.
Let's get into all these fees we paid at this restaurant. And before we all start, no, we not broke. I just want to talk about these fees. All right, we got a $44 service charge, $11.75 state tax, $4.41 city tax, $8.81 county tax. And then if you don't pay with cash, you have to pay basically $11 more.
What's up, everybody? Listen, I'm just leaving from Kitchen and Cocktails for my birthday, guys. Listen, that place, the food is amazing, but it's overpriced, guys. Do you know I spent $11 for this size bottled water, guys? And the gratuity for 2 people was $40. The tax was $20. And we were seated for an hour, and the guy came by and was like, we only could be seated for 2 hours, but we had only been seated for 1 hour. And he had also made it clear that the gratuity that we were charged $40 for, that does not include his gratuity. So now I gotta tip you. You know what I mean? So food was great. It just was a different experience. I did not expect to spend $11 for a bottle of Fiji water, guys. $11. But the food was amazing. I had Mississippi catfish, and I had yams, and I had black eyed peas. Food was amazing, guys. Enjoy this day, people. Peace.
I don't know if it's me or what, but there's no way that every time I leave to go get some food for lunch, it's like $15. I don't know if it's because I'm not eating at McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, but these prices is getting outrageous. Like, I'm one person. I should be at least $6. Like, $6. Not 15, not 12, not 20. Why is and then the crazy thing about it is, like, I went and got me some quesadillas. And why am I spending $12 and it ain't even got no drink? It ain't even no drink. It ain't even no side. Like, what is going on? So am I going crazy?
If you're not going to tip when you go out to a restaurant, stay the fuck home. The excuses of I can't afford it or they should be paying their servers more aren't going to fly.
What's good, everybody? So let me drop this gem on y'all right quick. The restaurant industry, since COVID up to now, have been consistently taking hits. It's just when they thought that they was going to get a little bit of breathing room, something else happens. So we all seen what happened with the bird flu and the high price of eggs. Then you had Trump came in and he raised the price on the tariffs on these countries where we get some of our products and goods from. And it's just been hitting the restaurant industry so hard to the point that now they had no choice but to raise the prices on their food. And I'm talking about places like IHOP, Applebee's, just to name a few, that their prices have gone up. And also that it's also been reported that people are starting to either cut back on eating restaurant food, or when they do go to a restaurant, they're dining alone. So you're not seeing a lot of people go to these restaurants as a group or even sometimes with some dates because it's just so expensive now. And I don't blame some people for cutting back on things because it's like, hey, what can you do? So now you have that money that you was going to spend on going to the restaurant now. You say, you know what? Let me take this money and let me go to the grocery store and buy some groceries that's going to last me and that's going to stretch. Also, when I saw this, it made me think about a while back when you had the thing on social media with the young lady when she was saying about how the guy was taking her to the Cheesecake Factory and that wasn't a good date. Well, now, because of these high ass prices, you ain't going to the Cheesecake Factory because people are starting to cut back and guys are starting to cut back. So it's just a hot mess right now. Hopefully it gets better, but it's just like the old saying, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
The culture of going out to eat in America is getting absolutely destroyed. You used to be able to go out to eat, get a drink, get an appetizer, get a meal, maybe get a dessert, $22. Those days are dead. I live in LA. My restaurant's in Los Angeles. If you want to go out to eat with a friend and grab lunch, you're spending 60, maybe $70. You throw a mocktail, cocktail in there, you're at $100. You're already done. When you have families of 4, families of 5 that want to go out to eat, and the minimum they spend is $150, $160 to feed their family of 4, service is down, portions are down, quality is down, everything is down, prices are up, people are aggravated, people are sick of it, and I understand that. McDonald's, Denny's, IHOP, your go-to fast casual QSR spaces that were great for budget-friendly meals are smoked. You're spending $40 at Denny's now. I want nothing more than reduce my prices, but I can't when my trash goes up $500 in a year, my property taxes, my unsecured property taxes, the POS system fees go up, vendor prices go up, food prices go up, they're charging me for gas now, like, it's getting bonkers. I went to dinner the other night, and they served me like 3 ounces of pasta for $54. I said, are you guys out of your mind? You don't even make the pasta here. Like, you're buying the pasta fresh and making it, and it's tomato sauce, you're charging $54. DoorDash, Uber Eats, don't even get me started on DoorDash and Uber Eats. That's a scam in itself. I don't know. In my restaurant, we keep the portions big, the quality extremely high. We try our best, we do our best, but we have to bend to the world around us, essentially.
I hate expensive restaurants because I think it's a waste of money. You're going to shit it out anyway. I find a lot of times they're incredibly pretentious. You don't even have a good time because everybody's so posh, just about wipe your ass for you. And then the bill comes and it's like a ridiculous amount. And then you go home and you just get pissed because sometimes you're still hungry. Like we were 2 couples and it was like $450. I think it's a waste. For me, like my rich life does not include going to a steakhouse and paying an obnoxious amount of money. We went to a Michelin star restaurant once, Roger and I, and we left there and we got Domino's pizza.
My child asked me why we tip in America and we don't in other countries. And so I responded by saying, do you want the short answer or the long answer? Because that's usually what I say. And they responded both, because that's usually what they say. So I said, short answer is slavery and the result thereof. And they were like, can you explain longer? And I go, yes. Imagine if you have a bunch of enslaved people and you treat them very cruelly. One of the things that enslaved and oppressed people will have to do as a survival tactic is to be polite to their masters, especially in the house, especially in things that are service oriented. Now imagine you had to free all of those enslaved people, but you didn't really want to free them and you wanted to make sure you maintain the status quo. Would you institute a system in which you paid them a fair, livable wage and just expected them to behave like decent human beings? You cannot do that because you, in your human beingness, have oppressed people with cruelty and with enslavement. polite. And so therefore you would then institute a system in which any kind of service industry, any kind of service occupation would not be paid simply for the doing of that job with the human expectation of kindness. Instead, what you would make sure is to have a system in which they have to be polite to you in order to have a livable wage, and that you as the oppressor could have control over that by justifying their wage with a tip that would be dependent on how polite they were to you, so that these formerly enslaved people or future enslaved people will have to be polite to you. And they thought about that and they were like, that makes a lot of sense and is also terrible and not fair. And I said, yes, I think most other countries have figured that out by now, and hopefully America will catch up.
I'm going to hit no tip every time. If I'm at Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, or a place that you really not serving me, and you turn that little iPad around and says it's going to ask you a little question, I'm going to look you dead in your face, and I'm going to click no tip.
Fast food has completely lost its value, and it's becoming more expensive to go get fast food than it is to sit down at a nice restaurant. The other day on the way home from the airport, we usually don't do fast food, but we were so starving, so we stopped and got Shake Shack. We got 4 burgers, 4 fries, chicken things for the kids, and I think like a chicken sandwich. It was $110 with tax. $110 with tax. I was so tired. I was just like, you know what? This is par for the course. Later that night, I had promised my aunt and my mom that I would take them to dinner. I eat out a lot. This is one of my favorite spots. It's really nice. It's affordable. Food is delish. We got 3 alcoholic drinks, bread for the table, 3 appetizers, some dishes, all fantastic. The bill was $81. I made the bill an even 100 because service was great, food was delish, and I had it in the back of my mind that I just spent $110 on fast food, and I'm never doing it again. And sure, if we had a couple more people, it would have been more expensive, but when I'm thinking about like the actual value of it, if I spend $20 or $30 more dollars, again, an entire family can have this large fine dining experience as opposed to $110 on burgers and fries.
Why aren't we talking about the fact that restaurants are all slow all over the country, especially right now in Southern California, are extremely slow? Like, and I'm not talking about those restaurants that are like mostly alcohol based. I'm talking about like restaurants. Everyone's like, oh, it's because it's holiday just happened. Nah, restaurants are getting slower. I think it has to do with the economy. The other day, I went grocery shopping, and for one meal, it was like $70 for home. For like 5 people. And then I went to go put gas yesterday to get to work. And gas was $6.20 a gallon. Like, I get it. I think that's one of the reasons restaurants are slow. Like, no one wants to come out. I mean, no one can afford to put, what, 2, 3, 4 gallons of gas at $6 a piece? Something needs to change, or restaurants are going to start failing and people are going to stop going out because inflation's killing everything.
Since when did fast food cost just as much as a sit-down restaurant? We were at Chick-fil-A and it cost $60 for 4 of us to eat. $60. That is a sit-down restaurant with a drink for the both of us and a kids meal.
2 kids meal.
2 kids meals. And that we're spending that on fast food. That's crazy to me.
Fast food has turned into sit-down restaurant prices.
I guess so.
I'm not ashamed to say that I'll go buy a hamburger from a restaurant and go home and put my own cheese on it. You ain't charging me no extra $1.50 for a slice of cheese, man.
All right, quick question. So what is the going rate for like a quick sit-down meal at restaurants nowadays? Because, you know, I've been eating out a lot lately. Just like a run in, grab something, and my food has been between like $18 and $25. So I'm just curious.
I don't know if it's me or what, but there's no way that every time I leave to go get some food for lunch, it's like $15. I don't know if it's because I'm not eating at McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, but these prices is getting outrageous. Like, I'm one person. I should be at least $6. Like, $6. Not 15, not 12, not 20. Why is And then the crazy thing about it is, like, I went and got me some quesadillas. And why am I spending $12 and it ain't even got no drink? It ain't even no drink. It ain't even no side. Like, what is going on? So am I going crazy?
I have a genuine controversial question. Why do we tip servers who get paid minimum wage in California? Because the original argument for tipping servers is because they're not getting paid enough since the owners aren't paying them, so we as the customers are paying for their livable wage. But in California, minimum wage is required, so now that all these servers and fast food workers and retail workers are all getting paid the same wage, but for some reason tipping culture is only prevalent in serving, that's where I'm confused.
I am so over tipping. It's gone too far. And so here's my new perspective, my new strategy when it comes to tipping. Number one, I am not tipping anywhere where they ask me to tip before I experience the service. For example, I went and got a $9 smoothie the other day, and right when I was like ordering my smoothie, I was like, oh, I'll get the breakfast smoothie. Then they're like, okay, it's just gonna ask you a few questions. The answer is no. One, y'all haven't made my smoothie. 2, I haven't tasted my smoothie. 3, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this smoothie yet. Why am I tipping? Like, I'm not tipping. Also, it's a smoothie. It's not like a sit-down restaurant. Like, what are we doing? There's a lot of places that make sense to tip, like restaurants. You experience the food, you experience the service, you're sitting down, you're being served. Of course you leave a tip there. But again, that tip is based off the experience. Okay? Same thing. Nail salons. You get your nails done, you pay and you tip based off the service. Okay? I'm not tipping preemptively. So that goes for coffee shops where they turn it around, ask you questions, ice cream shops, anywhere like that. Ice cream shops alone is just a no for me. You scooped my ice cream for 15 seconds and put it in a cup. Like, no. You guys are paid hourly. Like, hourly rates. If they're not enough, talk to your employer. But why is that burden being put on the consumers? I will never understand. As a business owner, imagine if every single time you guys bought a planner from my site, it was like, oh, just leave a tip. Leave a tip for what? We hand make all your planners and I'm still like, leave a tip for what? No.
Okay, guys, so I have to do a vent. I have to rant for a second because yesterday I went out for my friend's birthday and we went to an Italian restaurant, and honestly, no hatred towards Italian food. It's just not my cup of tea. Not because it's bad, but it's like, I love Indian food. Like, I'm Peruvian. Like, I just love very diverse type of food, and I don't know, not really my favorite. Doesn't mean I have anything against it. Anyways, so we went to Italian because that's her favorite, and we went to this place and we were like, okay, it's very fancy, super excited. I ordered chicken parm because I honestly just wanted to stay on the safe side, and I don't really care for like oil-based pasta and things like that. Like, I really wanted a tomato-based, so I was like, let me just get chicken parm. My fault for not really reading the menu. I just assumed that chicken parm comes with pasta. It doesn't, I guess. It's literally just chicken and Parmesan cheese, which I get because like the name's in it, but I just assumed it came with pasta. Tell me why. I couldn't finish it. I had drinks and stuff, so like I just didn't finish it. This is like half of it, right? But tell me why I paid $30 for fucking chicken and Parmesan cheese, or $35. This is why I can't do Italian food, because $35 fucking for chicken, not even pasta included. Oh my god, like, restaurants are such a fucking ripoff nowadays. I hate it.
You go out and eat in a restaurant, you have fees on top of fees on top of fees. Not only you have to pay a tip, and you have state and local taxes in some area, but now you have restaurants charging absurd fees like an inflation fee. I mean, what's the point of charging an inflation fee when your prices are already so expensive? They should already reflect the inflation, right? Either way, this trend of high cost of living cannot keep growing because Americans are sick and tired of it.